Today we will talk about the manager's work environment and ethical responsibilities, the goals of business, more than making money. Younger workers and consumers have shifted their expectations towards organizations that go beyond traditional measures of success. They seek meaning, alignment with personal values, and a commitment to positive social and environmental impact from the entities they engage with, both as employees and consumers. In this chapter, we will discuss two important topics: the triple bottom line, people, planet, and profit, and younger workers' search for meaning. The triple bottom line, people, planet, and profit. In the context of the triple bottom line, an organization has a responsibility to its people, planet, and profit. It means that the organization should consider the impact of its actions on its employees, the community, the environment, and its financial performance. To assess and measure the organization's performance in these areas, a social audit can be conducted. A social audit is a systematic evaluation of an organization's social, environmental, and economic performance. It involves examining the organization's policies, practices, and outcomes to determine its social and environmental impact and its contribution to sustainable development. A social audit typically includes gathering data on various aspects of the organization's operations, such as labor practices, employee welfare, community engagement, environmental impact, resource consumption, and financial performance. This data is then analyzed to assess the organization's performance against relevant standards, regulations, and stakeholder expectations. The purpose of the social audit is to provide transparency and accountability both internally within the organization and externally to stakeholders such as employees, customers, investors, and the wider community. It helps identify areas where improvements can be made, highlights best practices, and informs decision-making to align the organization's activities with its social and environmental responsibilities. By conducting a social audit, an organization can gain insights into its performance across the triple bottom line and take necessary actions to improve its impact on people, planet, and profit. Okay. Younger workers search for meaning. Millennials and Gen Zers, as younger generations, often prioritize meaning and purpose in their work and their consumption choices. They tend to care about the triple bottom line, which includes social and environmental factors along with financial considerations. Here are some key points related to younger workers' search for meaning. Meaningful work. Younger workers seek jobs that align with their values and offer a sense of purpose. They desire roles where they can make a positive impact and contribute to causes they believe in. They are more likely to prioritize job satisfaction and fulfillment over purely monetary rewards. Social and environmental responsibility. Millennials and Gen Zers are often passionate about social and environmental issues. They are interested in working for and supporting organizations that demonstrate a commitment to sustainable practices, ethical business conduct, and community engagement. They want to be part of companies that prioritize the well-being of people and the planet. Personal values and brand alignment. Younger workers are more likely to choose employers and brands that align with their personal values. They value authenticity and transparency and want to associate themselves with organizations that share their beliefs. They expect companies to demonstrate social responsibility and to have a positive impact on society. Work-life balance and flexibility. Younger generations value work-life balance and prioritize flexibility in their work arrangements. They seek opportunities that allow them to have fulfilling personal lives alongside their professional commitments. They appreciate workplaces that offer flexible schedules, remote work options, and a supportive culture. Social impact and career progression. Younger workers are interested in career paths that provide opportunities for growth and advancement while allowing them to make a positive impact. They seek organizations that offer training and development programs, mentorship opportunities, and a clear path for progression. The community of stakeholders inside the organization. Also, I need to explain internal and external stakeholders and internal stakeholders. Internal stakeholders are individuals or groups within an organization who have a direct interest in its performance and have the power to influence its direction. Some examples of internal stakeholders include employees, owners, and the board of directors. Here's a brief overview of these internal stakeholders. Employees. Employees are vital internal stakeholders who contribute their skills, knowledge, and effort to the organization. They have a stake in the organization's performance, as it directly affects their job security, career growth, and overall job satisfaction. Employees may have the power to shape the organization's future through their work, ideas, and feedback. Their engagement and commitment are crucial for the success of the organization. Owners. Owners or shareholders are individuals or entities that have invested capital into the organization and hold ownership rights. They have a significant stake in the organization's performance, as their investment and financial returns are tied to its success. Owners may have the power to shape the organization's future through decision-making processes, such as voting on important matters, appointing executives, and influencing strategic direction. Board of Directors. The Board of Directors is a group of individuals elected or appointed to represent the interests of shareholders and stakeholders. They have a fiduciary duty to act in the best interests of the organization. The Board of Directors typically sets the strategic direction, oversees management, and makes important decisions related to governance, risk management, and financial matters. They have the power to shape the organization's future through their decision-making authority and guidance. Overall, internal stakeholders, such as employees, owners, and the Board of Directors, play crucial roles in shaping the performance and future direction of an organization. Collaboration and effective communication with these stakeholders are important to ensure their interests are considered and aligned with the organization's goals and values. The community of stakeholders. As you see, this diagram shows the different internal and external stakeholders of a company. Stakeholders are individuals or groups that have an interest in the company's success or failure. The diagram is divided into two main sections: internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. Internal stakeholders are people who work for the company, such as employees, owners, and the Board of Directors. They have a direct interest in the company's success, as their jobs and livelihoods depend on it. The diagram shows that internal stakeholders are influenced by the task environment, which includes the company's competitors, customers, suppliers, and strategic partners. External stakeholders are people or groups who are not employed by the company, but who are still affected by its activities. These include customers, suppliers, lenders, distributors, governments, and media outlets. External stakeholders are influenced by the general environment, which includes economic forces, political legal forces, technological forces, socio-cultural forces, and demographic forces. Also, the diagram shows that all stakeholders are interconnected, and that the actions of one stakeholder can have an impact on all of the others. For example, if a company makes a decision that angers its customers, it could lead to lost sales and damage the company's reputation. Task environment consists of 10 groups that interact with the organization on a regular basis. The task environment refers to the specific external stakeholders that directly interact with a company in carrying out its day-to-day operations and fulfilling its objectives. Here's an explanation of each stakeholder within the task environment. 1. Customers. Customers are individuals or organizations that purchase and use the company's products or services. They are a crucial stakeholder as their satisfaction and loyalty directly impact the company's success. Understanding and meeting customer needs and preferences are essential for maintaining a competitive edge. 2. Competitors. Competitors are other companies or organizations that offer similar products or services in the same market. They represent a significant challenge and influence the company's strategies, pricing, marketing, and overall competitive position. Monitoring and analyzing competitors' actions can help a company stay competitive and identify opportunities. 3. Suppliers. Suppliers are individuals or companies that provide the necessary inputs, raw materials, components, or services to support the company's operations. Maintaining strong relationships with reliable suppliers is crucial for ensuring a steady supply chain, product quality, and cost effectiveness. 4. Distributors. Distributors are intermediaries or businesses that help in the distribution and sale of the company's products or services. They play a role in reaching customers in different markets or regions. Collaborating with distributors effectively is important for expanding the company's market reach and ensuring efficient product distribution. 5. Strategic allies. Strategic allies are individuals, organizations, or companies with whom the company forms partnerships or alliances to achieve mutual goals. These allies can provide access to new markets, technology, expertise, or resources. Strategic alliances can enhance competitiveness, innovation, and growth opportunities for the company. 6. Employee organizations. Employee organizations represent the collective interests of employees, such as labor unions or employee associations. They advocate for employee rights, working conditions, and benefits. Collaborating with employee organizations can contribute to maintaining positive labor relations and addressing employee concerns. 7. Local communities. Local communities refer to the geographical areas where the company operates. Engaging with local communities fosters goodwill, social responsibility, and positive relationships. Companies can contribute to local development, support community initiatives, and address community concerns to build a positive reputation. 8. Financial institutions. Financial institutions include banks, lenders, and investors that provide financial support, such as loans, credit, or investment capital to the company. Maintaining good relationships with financial institutions is vital for accessing capital, managing cash flow, and funding growth initiatives. 9. Government regulators. Government regulators are agencies or entities that enforce laws, regulations, and policies relevant to the company's industry or operations. Complying with regulations and maintaining positive relationships with government regulators is essential to operate legally and avoid penalties or reputational damage. 10. Special interest groups. Special interest groups are organizations or associations that advocate for specific causes, issues, or stakeholder interests. They can include environmental groups, consumer rights organizations, or industry associations. Understanding and addressing the concerns and demands of special interest groups can help manage reputation and mitigate potential conflicts. These stakeholders within the task environment have direct interactions and influence on the company's daily operations, performance, and competitive position. Understanding their needs, expectations, and dynamics is crucial for effective decision-making and ensuring the company's long-term success. The general environment consists of broader forces that are beyond the control of a company but can significantly impact its operations and long-term plans. These forces are as follows. Economic forces. Economic forces include factors such as economic growth, inflation, interest rates, unemployment rates, and consumer spending patterns. Changes in economic conditions can impact the purchasing power of customers, cost of inputs, and overall market demand, thereby influencing a company's profitability and strategic decisions. Technological forces. Technological forces encompass advancements and innovations in technology that can affect industries and markets. These can include new manufacturing processes, automation, digitalization, and the development of new products or services. Companies need to keep pace with technological changes to remain competitive and identify opportunities for improvement and innovation. Sociocultural forces. Sociocultural forces refer to societal attitudes, beliefs, values, and lifestyles that can influence consumer behavior and market demand. Factors such as cultural trends, demographics, social norms, and shifts in consumer preferences can impact a company's products, marketing strategies, and overall business environment. Demographic forces. Demographic forces involve characteristics of the population such as age, gender, income levels, education, and geographic distribution. Changes in demographics can affect market size, target segments, and customer preferences, requiring companies to adapt their products, services, and marketing approaches accordingly. Political legal forces. Our political and legal forces encompass government policies, regulations, laws, and political stability that impact business operations. These forces can include taxation policies, trade regulations, employment laws, environmental regulations, and industry-specific regulations. Adhering to legal requirements and understanding the political landscape is vital for companies to ensure compliance and manage potential risks. International forces. International forces refer to global factors, including international trade, foreign exchange rates, global political and economic events, and cultural differences. Companies operating in global markets need to consider international forces as they can affect market access, supply chains, competition, and overall business strategies. As a manager, it is important to monitor and analyze the forces in the general environment to anticipate potential opportunities and threats that may impact the company's long-term plans and decisions. By understanding these forces and their potential implications, managers can proactively adapt strategies, innovate, and make informed decisions to navigate the changing business landscape successfully. Ethics refers to the principles and moral values that guide individuals and organizations in determining what is right or wrong, ethical or unethical. It involves making decisions and taking actions that align with these principles and promote fairness, integrity, honesty, respect, and responsibility. Values, on the other hand, are deeply held beliefs and ideals that individuals or groups consider important and desirable. Values serve as a foundation for ethical behavior and influence how individuals perceive and prioritize different actions and outcomes. they shape an individual's attitudes, choices, and decisions. It is true that ethical standards can vary among countries and cultures. Different cultures have distinct norms, belief systems, and societal expectations, which can influence what is considered ethical or unethical behavior. Understanding and respecting cultural differences is essential in promoting ethical behavior and avoiding misunderstandings or conflicts. In the workplace, there are several common behaviors that are considered ethical misconduct. These include 1. Conflicts of interest. When individuals have personal or financial interests that may compromise their objectivity, judgment, or decision-making in their professional roles. 2. Abusive behaviors. Any form of mistreatment, bullying, or harassment towards colleagues or subordinates that creates a hostile work environment and undermines respectful and fair treatment. 3. Violations of health and safety regulations. Failure to comply with workplace health and safety regulations, which can jeopardize the well-being and safety of employees and stakeholders. 4. Corruption, engaging in dishonest or fraudulent practices, such as bribery, embezzlement, or misuse of company resources for personal gain. 5. Discrimination, treating individuals unfairly or differentially based on characteristics such as race, gender, age, religion, or disability, which violates principles of equality and fairness. 6. Sexual harassment. Unwanted sexual advances, comments, or behaviors that create a hostile or uncomfortable work environment and violate an individual's rights and dignity. Values and value systems serve as the underlying framework for ethics and ethical behavior. They provide individuals and organizations with a moral compass to guide decision-making and actions. By aligning behavior with core values such as honesty, integrity, respect, fairness, and responsibility, individuals and organizations can foster an ethical work culture and promote positive relationships and outcomes. There are 4 approaches to resolving ethical dilemmas. The utilitarian approach. This approach focuses on maximizing overall happiness or utility by considering the consequences of actions. It aims to achieve the greatest good for the greatest number of people. When faced with an ethical dilemma, the utilitarian approach involves evaluating the potential outcomes and choosing the option that generates the most positive impact and minimizes harm. The individual approach. The individual approach emphasizes ethical behavior that promotes the long-term self-interest of the individual while also considering the interests of others. It recognizes that acting ethically can lead to personal benefits and positive outcomes in the long run. This approach encourages individuals to consider how their actions align with their own values and goals while also benefiting others. The moral rights approach. The moral rights approach is based on the belief that ethical behavior should respect and uphold the fundamental rights shared by all individuals. These rights can be derived from legal frameworks, societal norms, or moral principles. This approach involves considering the potential impact of actions on the basic rights and dignity of individuals and making choices that uphold those rights. The justice approach. The justice approach centers around fairness and equity. It involves making decisions based on impartial standards and treating individuals equally and fairly. This approach requires considering distributive justice, fair distribution of resources and benefits, procedural justice, fair processes for decision-making, and compensatory justice, fair compensation for harm or loss. The justice approach seeks to ensure that ethical decisions and actions are unbiased and justifiable. When facing ethical dilemmas, Individuals and organizations may employ one or a combination of these approaches to guide their decision-making process. It is important to note that these approaches may sometimes conflict with each other, and resolving ethical dilemmas often requires careful consideration and balancing of these different perspectives. Okay. This slide demonstrates several effective strategies that organizations can employ to promote ethics within their operations. Here's a further explanation of each approach: creating a strong ethical climate. Organizations should strive to develop a work environment that supports and encourages ethical behavior. This can be achieved by fostering a culture of transparency, integrity, and accountability. Leaders need to set a positive example by consistently demonstrating ethical conduct and communicating the importance of ethics throughout the organization. Employees should feel comfortable speaking up about ethical concerns and know that their voices will be heard and addressed. Screening prospective employees. To minimize the risk of unethical behavior, organizations can implement rigorous screening processes for prospective employees. This may involve conducting thorough background checks, verifying resumes and references, and even utilizing personality and integrity tests. By selecting individuals with a track record of ethical conduct and values that align with the organization's ethical standards, companies can reduce the likelihood of misconduct. Instituting ethics codes and training programs. Establishing a code of ethics provides a formal set of guidelines that outline the organization's ethical expectations and standards of conduct. It serves as a reference for employees, helping them navigate ethical dilemmas and make informed decisions. Additionally, organizations should offer ethics training programs to educate employees about ethical principles, promote awareness of potential ethical issues, and provide guidance on ethical decision-making. Rewarding ethical behavior and protecting whistleblowers. It is crucial for organizations to recognize and reward ethical behavior. This can be done through performance evaluations, incentives, or public recognition. By reinforcing and celebrating ethical conduct, organizations create a positive reinforcement loop and encourage others to follow suit. Furthermore, it is important to protect whistleblowers who report organizational misconduct. Establishing channels for reporting and ensuring that whistleblowers are shielded from retaliation sends a clear message that ethical behavior is valued and supported. Using a multifaceted approach, promoting ethics requires addressing individual and organizational factors. Organizations should adopt a comprehensive approach that combines these strategies. By considering both the personal characteristics of employees and the broader organizational culture, policies, and practices, companies can create an environment that promotes and sustains ethical behaviors. By implementing these strategies consistently and integrating ethics into various aspects of their operations, organizations can cultivate an ethical climate and foster a culture of integrity and responsibility. This, in turn, can enhance trust, reputation, and long-term. Corporate social responsibility refers to a corporation's commitment to operating in an ethical and responsible manner that considers the interests of various stakeholders, including society and the environment. While the specific priorities and emphases of CSR may vary among organizations, the following principles are commonly recognized. 1. Being a good global corporate citizen. This involves actively engaging with the communities and societies in which a corporation operates. It includes respecting local customs, traditions, and laws, supporting social and environmental initiatives, and contributing to the well-being of the community. 2. Ethical practices. Corporations should conduct their business ethically, adhering to both host country and global standards of conduct. This includes honest and transparent business practices, fair treatment of employees and suppliers, and responsible marketing and advertising. 3. Compliance with laws. Organizations have a responsibility to comply with the laws and regulations of the countries in which they operate. This includes not only local laws, but also international laws and regulations that govern areas such as trade, labor, human rights, and environmental protection. 4. Profitability. While corporations have social and environmental responsibilities, they also have an economic obligation to generate profits. This ensures their financial sustainability and ability to invest in their operations, provide employment opportunities, and contribute to economic growth. It's important to note that these priorities are not mutually exclusive, but rather interconnected. Responsible corporations aim to strike a balance between economic success and social and environmental impact. They recognize that long-term profitability is often intertwined with responsible practices that benefit society and the environment. By incorporating CSR into their strategies and operations, organizations can contribute to sustainable development, enhance their reputation, attract and retain talent, and build stronger relationships with stakeholders. Is social responsibility worthwhile? Opposing and supporting viewpoints against social responsibility. Focus on profit maximization. Critics of social responsibility argue that a company's primary duty is to maximize profits for its shareholders. They believe that diverting resources towards social causes or environmental initiatives can be a distraction from the core business objectives. By prioritizing profit maximization, companies can ensure their financial viability, create jobs, and contribute to economic growth. Tax optimization. Some argue that companies have a responsibility to their shareholders to minimize their tax burden legally. Establishing headquarters in offshore tax havens is seen as a legitimate strategy to reduce tax liabilities and maximize profits. Critics argue that diverting resources towards social responsibility initiatives may undermine this objective. For social responsibility, society's welfare. Advocates for social responsibility argue that companies should not only focus on profit generation, but also consider the welfare of society. They believe that businesses have a responsibility to contribute positively to the communities in which they operate. By addressing social and environmental issues, companies can help create a sustainable and equitable society. Business benefits. Supporters of social responsibility argue that it is not only a moral obligation, but also good for business. Engaging in socially responsible practices can enhance a company's reputation, build trust with customers and stakeholders, attract and retain talent, and foster long-term sustainability. By demonstrating a commitment to social responsibility, companies can differentiate themselves in the market and gain a competitive edge. Employee perspective. Employees increasingly value working for companies that align with their personal values and contribute positively to society. Social responsibility initiatives can enhance employee satisfaction, engagement, and loyalty. It can also attract top talent who are motivated to work for organizations that prioritize more than just financial gains.
Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to channel.